So first we need to just perform the lab for BTP, and there will see the dot one queue and that's how it's going to encapsulate. Okay. After that, we are going to discuss about BTP. VTP basic. Yesterday we discussed. Today we'll perform the lab and we'll discuss the VTP message type, VTP mode, right? CRN number. What is the CRN number that we need to discuss? How it is going to exchange the VLAN or DAT file, right? Host name is just I'm going to give the same host name BR1. How many total interfaces are there on this switch, guys? Just let me explain. Total 8 ports are there. How many total ports are there? 8 ports. G0 by total, actually there is 2 modules. Okay. And the first module is going to start with G0 by 0, 2, 3, that is 4 port. And second module is G1 by 0 to 3. So total how many ports are there? 8 ports, right? Right now on the switch, total how many devices are connected, guys? Only 2 devices are connected, even this one is down. So only these 2 ports should be up, rest of the port should be down, not connected. On the real switch, if you are going to execute so interface status, so what will we see there now? These are the not. These 2 are up and these rest all the 8 ports are not connected. Got it? But it's a virtual switch. So here you will get all the 8 ports are up. You can see now. So interface status. All interfaces are showing connected. But the how many interfaces right now connected are there? Only 2 interfaces. G0 by 0 and G0 by 1. G0 by 2 is also connected, but the connected device is down itself. Right? So let me do one thing. I'm just going to put interface range G0 by 0 to 3.
Hi, sir.
Hello? Yeah, Nivedita. Go ahead. Am I audible, guys? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just going to use G0 by 0 to 1 and no sir. Similarly, on these switches, guys, switch number host name is PR1. Interface range G0 by That one. Yes, 0. I'm not going to use right now the PC, so only I will use G0 by 1 and G0 by 2. Host name, PR1 and AS0. Is range 0 by 2 to 3 and G1 by 0 to, because all are center. So by 2 to 3. So this is your topology now. By default on this interfaces, DTP mode if I'm going to check. So what should be the mode, guys? Right now I'm just going to check any trunk link is there. On suppose DS, it's a DS02. Let me open on DS01. DS01. How many interfaces are there, guys? 4 interfaces. So interface trunk. Any interface or trunk? No. So TTP interface G0 by 0, if I'm going to check, there will be, see now, what is the mode? Auto. What is the mode? And what is the operational mode right now? It is an access mode. Right? So tell me one thing, right now there is also auto and there is also auto. So this is going to form a trunk. If auto is there, then it is not going to negotiate the trunk. This one is also not going to negotiate. This one is also not going to negotiate. If on DS01, suppose on these interfaces, I'm just going to make. Give me a moment, sir. Let's see. Join the class. So what I'm going to do there, guys, I'm just going to make it, either I'm going to make it manual trunk. If I'm going to make it manual trunk, so what will be the mode there, guys? There is on mode, right? If I'm just going to make it manual trunk, so which mode will be there? On mode. Suppose I'm just going to use dynamic desirable. So these all the link will become a trunk. So on DS02, what I'm going to execute the command? Interface range G0 by 0 to 3, right? Switch port mode dynamic desirable. So if I'm just going to make it dynamic desirable, on the another end, it's a auto. So if one side is desirable, another side is auto, so what will happen? It will negotiate the trunking. Which tagging protocol they will negotiate? What I told you yesterday. If the DTP is the Cisco proprietary, ISL is,
ISL.
so it's by default it's going to negotiate the ISL, right? You can say now. Just let me copy and paste it on ES01. These all the four link got trunk. What was the mode? Desirable. Status is trunking, and the negotiated protocol is ISL. Can capture the traffic. Capture is working or not, just let me check. Connection is close. Firewall is that we can't be captured. Actually, we have built up this lab. This lab is behind the firewall, so it's not going to capture. For that one, we have to use a different technique. No worry. Right now, it's a trunk, and which tagging protocol they are using? ISL. Suppose on core side, there on the core switch, this is the DS01. And now I'm just going to execute the command on port. Interface G0/0. Switch port trunk encapsulation .1. Where I'm going to change? I'm just going to change it on core side. So it will send the next DTP message. In the next DTP message, what will be the tagging protocol? As such, this switch will negotiate the .1. You can say now. Just let me execute this command. Sorry, instead of .1 we need to use the. Okay, ISL they are by default using. So let me use .1 there now. So interface G0/0 is the trunk, right? Mode is auto, and the which tagging protocol is there? Before the 802.1q N symbol is there? No. That means it's not negotiated, it's a manual config. Right? If I'm going to check the same thing on where? On the DS01. It's negotiated the .1q. Before that N symbol is there, that means negotiated. It's not the hard configure. Hard configure means manually you are going to configure, you should use the .1q. You guys are getting the point? If the N symbol means it's negotiated. Got it? So one side is desirable, another side is auto, so link is trunk. Okay. Now between the DS01 and DS02, I'm just going to make one side on mode, another end is still auto. Another end is still here. Right now, what is the mode right now? Desirable. I'm just going to make it on mode. So what I told you yesterday, if one side is on, another end is, if either it's a desirable or auto still, it will create a trunk. On this interface, you can see it's forwarding the DTP message. You got the point? So on DS01, interface G0/1, switch port mode trunk. If I'm going to execute this command, it's not going to accept it. Region, the switch does support the ISL also and .1Q also, both. So if you are going to configure the manual trunk port, so you have to pre-inform which tagging protocol you are going to use on that. You are getting the point? Before going to make it trunk, first you have to inform which tagging protocol you should use. You got it? So it's simple. You are just going to for the speech somewhere, suppose. So first you have to inform in which language you are going to before going to enter the room, right? Similarly, before going to make in the tag trunk protocol, we are going to make before going to make it trunk, we have to first inform which tagging protocol you should use. Suppose it does support only the tag .1Q, then that command is not. Got it? So I'm just going to execute here the switch port trunk encapsulation .1Q and switch port mode. So interface trunk. This is on mode. Now I'm just going to check it on DS02. So interface G0/1 is the trunk and negotiated protocol is after every 30 seconds. This one is also sending the DTP message and this one is also sending the DTP message. So if I'm going to check the DTP message on that switch interface, after every 30 seconds, send and receive both should be increased. You can see now. So DTP, suppose I'm just going to use the interfaces. So how many total interfaces are using? So for all, so DTP interface. Should we show us the total how many interfaces are using? Yes. Going to show one by one all interfaces, right? So DTP interface G0/1. How many DTP messages are sent? 46 DTP messages are received on that interface and 71 is out, right? Just wait for the 30 seconds. You can see now should be increased. .47 received and 72 out, right? So if I'm just going to execute the command on the DS01, on which interface? On the interface G0/1. Interface G0/1. Switch port, no negotiation. Then it will start to send a DTP message on that interface. what I told you yesterday, no negotiate command if you are going to use. So DTP is still on, but it's not sending any DTP message. If you can see now, earlier how many DTP message it was sent. So DTP interface G0 by 1. It was received 36 and 51 was output. Now you can see after 30 seconds it's getting increased. One packet received, that is region, because of no negotiation is off. So if the negotiation is off, so why I should receive the DTP message? Still the switch 2 is sending the DTP message, but it's not receiving. It's not going to forward. Output is still 51. You can see. 2 packets are dropped. Output is still 51. If I'm going to check it on the switch 2, earlier how many packet was received, guys? 47. Now after 48, any packet or receive, it's not going to increase. It's still 48. So it's not getting the DTP message on back end. You got the point? But still the trunk is so it will wait till 300 seconds. What is the hold down timer for DTP? 300 seconds. So it will still wait for 300 seconds. After 300 seconds, it will lose the trunking negotiation. No DTP timer, you can't be changed. Got it, guys? So how it will verify after exact 300 seconds it's going down? So total how many drops are there, guys, right now? 2 packets. Let me check it now. 5 packets are dropped. That means 150 seconds are completed. So once it will reach 10, then after that, if you are going to check it on the DS02, you will not get any trunk interface. Right now on DS02, one trunk interface is there. So interface. Still it's there. After 150 seconds, it will be removed. That means once the 10 packet will drop, 30 multiplied by 10, it's 300 seconds. Then after that, you will not get the DTP message. Means trunk link there. You got the point? Native VLAN, how we can make the changes that we have already discussed, right? In the previous to previous session, what is the native VLAN, how we can make the change? Okay. Now what I'm going to do, VTP domain name, if I'm going to check on these switches, what is the VTP domain name by default? None. I will be verified. So VTP steps. Domain name is right now domain name is null. There is no domain name, right? If I'm going to check it on DS01, how many packets are dropped? Let me check. 9 packets are dropped. Just wait for then I'm coming. Right. It's gone now. So how many packets should we drop there now? If I'm going to check on there, earlier it was 9. Now 10 packets are dropped. Right? On DS01, I'm just going to check the how many DS01. What is the domain name? So VTP status. Domain name is also there. None. I'm just going to set the domain name on VTP domain. The CCI. Just domain name I'm putting. You can put anything. A, B, C, just a group name. We are just creating a group. I'm just going to put the domain name. It's null from null to CCI hub. I'm just going to check it on DS01. Here also the domain name is so interface type. Yes, so VTP status there now. There is also CCI hub. What I told you yesterday, guys, by default domain name is null. VTP domain name is null. But if you are going to set the VTP domain name of one of the switch and another switch, there is a domain name, either it's a null. So what will happen? It will just inherit the domain name from the upstream or downstream switch. But suppose switch 2, which is the means switch 2, if I'm talking about the switch 2, that means what? I'm talking about the DS01. Okay. There is the domain name is already ABC. There is domain name already ABC. And here is the domain name CCI hub we mentioned, right? Then DTP will never work in. DTP will never work in. Using through the DTP, it will never negotiate the trunk. And one more thing, if here the domain name is already ABC, it will never inherit the domain name from the upstream switch. So I'm just going to make the change. The domain name here, I'm just going to set ABC. And what is the domain name there? CCI hub. What is the domain name there, guys? CCI hub. If I'm just going to make the change here, the domain name ABC, now they have already the domain name. They will never inherit the ABC, and because of the domain name is mismatched, will never negotiate the trunking. On the Nexus, it's a transparent. Rest all the switches, it's a by default, it's server. On the Nexus switches, by default, it's a server, transparent mode. On DS01, host name, sorry, VTP domain name. That's the ABC, I'm just going to say. What is the domain name we said, guys? Just wait, you will get DTP warning message, unable to perform the negotiation because of VTP domain name mismatch. We got the message. DTP domain name mismatch, unable to perform the trunk negotiation on these interfaces because of VTP domain name mismatch. You guys are okay? So if I'm just going to check now, show interface trunk, still it's there, but it will be there till 5 minutes. Then after that 5 minutes, there's all the trunk negotiation. But that means these all the port will move into the access port. Right? What I told you yesterday. What is the beauty of the DTP dynamic trunking, guys, if it's going to lose the trunking configuration, trunking negotiation will return as an access point. Got it? Up to this part yesterday, I believe we discussed. We discussed DTP, we discussed Cloud1Q and ASL, then BTP, what is the BTP server mode, and why we are going to use the VTP. So first I have to make it trunk all these links. On DS02 also, DS01 also, let me make it host name. Sorry, not host name. VTP domain CCI and interface D0/1 switch port mode dynamic desirable. I'm just going to use switch port negotiate. Negotiate command that we need to remove. Switch port mode dynamic. Interface range G0/02. The switch port mode dynamic desirable. And switch port trunk encapsulation dot one. Here also, I'm just going to use the same command G0/02 and switch port trunk encapsulation dot one Q switch port mode bandwidth desirable. So what basically I did, these all the interfaces on these all the interfaces we are using the dynamic desirable. So I don't need to configure anything here, anything here. This all the link will become a what I told you. VTP message is only going to pass on which interfaces? Trunk interfaces. It will never pass it on access point. Okay. So now the VTP domain name, what we have set on all the devices, guys? On all the switches. Right now on rest, these all the switches are server. These all the switches are total. How many VLANs are there? You can just verify. I believe 3 VLANs are already there. So VLAN brief. VLAN 10, 20, 30 and 100. Total how many VLANs are there? 4 VLANs are there. Right? Total how many VLANs are there? 4 VLANs. Virtual, I believe it's not going to be this one. We are not getting here the VLAN or tag file. It's a virtual switch, that's the reason. Otherwise, inside the flash, you'll be get the VLAN or that fact. Which one I told you? On the packet tracer, you can check it. You'll be get that. VLAN or that fact. So right now, total how many VLAN? We have a 10, 20, 30, and 100. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to create the VLAN number. On access switch also, you can check how many VLANs are there. 2 VLAN, 3. 10, 20, 100s are there. 2 BTP status. What is the CR number right now? Configuration user number is right now it's 4, right? If I'm going to check it on access switch, what is the CR number? So BTP status. There is also 4. They are in the sync. How it will be verified these are in the sync? So you can check the MD5 digest value. What are the value? You can check. So their MD5 value and these MD5 value, both are the same. If the two switches in the BTP sync, so their MD5 digest value will be same. Okay. So if the interview they are asking if they are going to, you are getting a message means issue. There is two switches. They are not syncing means flooding the VLAN information to each other, right? They are not in the synchronization. Basically, they are not syncing to each other. So how will we start up troubleshooting? Two switches are there. One is server and the other one is client. Logically, what should be happen? On the server, you are just going to create the VLAN. On the client, that should be flooded. But on the client, it's not going to flood. So what we need to check? First, you need to check the trunks in between. It should be the trunk, right? Between the both switches, the link should be trunk. That's the first condition because the BTP message is going to forward only on the trunk interface. What is the next one that you need to check? BTP domain name that you need to check on the both side. If the BTP password is there, so you need to check the BTP password on both sides if you have set the BTP password. If everything is set, then you need to also verify the MD5 digest value. Should be also set. Got it? If the MD5 digest value is same, that means they are in this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete the VLAN. Right now, we define any guys who is the server and who is the client. Right now, these all are server. So we can create the VLAN on anywhere. That information will flood to everywhere. So I'm just going to delete the VLAN number 100 from there. So what should be happen? CR number should be set 5, right? And all the switches will remove the VLAN 100. So if you are going to check on these switches also, you should not get the VLAN number 100 there. You got it? We'll just check now. No VLAN 100. So VLAN 3. From there, the VLAN 100 is gone, right? So BTP status. CR number is 5. I'm just going to check on the access switch, on the last switches. VLAN 100 is gone. So BTP status. MD5 values change, guys. Right? How this MD5 value is going to calculate? So it has the two attributes. One is the if password is set. Another one is VLAN dot dat file. So using these two parameters, it's going to calculate the MD5 digest Y. Right? So it's just going to use the password and VLAN.dat file, and then it's going to calculate the MD5 value. What got it? So just think about that. If the MD5 value is getting mismatched, that means on both the switches, either the password is mismatched, either the VLAN database is mismatched. So if the password is mismatched or the VLAN database is mismatched, that means it's not in sync. They are not in sync. We are getting the point. Okay. Right now, you can see one thing. There is a last modified by and a local update. Here it's going to choose the device ID. Right now it's using the base MAC address. Here this address is 000. If any SBI is configured on these switches, so that SBI lower SBI IP is going to become a device IP of the device. Suppose I'm just going to configure now. Interface VLAN 1. You can choose any VLAN. IP address I'm just going to use n.0.0.1 No, sir. What will happen, guys? This IP will become a device IP for port. Let me copy. What is the IP address there now? 10.0.0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I'm going to check it on core, so PT extends. What is the local updater, guys? 10.0.0.1, last modified by. So on that time where the device ID was 0.0, that was the last modifier, right? So configuration last modified by is also showing and local updater is also showing. So if the local updater ID is showing, that means what? This switch is into the server. If it is in client mode, so local updater ID will not be shown. If it is in client mode, so there is any possibility it can be changed their VLAN or that file. So local updater should be removed. Only will be there last modified by. You can just say now, I'm just going to make it server and rest all the switches, I'm just going to make it client. So TTP status is still here also. You can see there the last modified by and local update, right? If I'm just going to make it BTP mode client. So BTP status. Local updater is gone. Only the configuration last modified. That means we right now we can't be create any VLAN. If I'm trying to create the VLAN number 100, we can't do it. Right? Similarly, on rest all the switches. TTP mode client. BTP mode. I'm just going to create the VLAN. So VTP status. Now, this is my server. So there the last modified by 10.0.0.1 and local updater is same. But if I'm going to check it on any access switch, or any one of the other switches, so VTP status. Last modified by. Got it? Local updater is not shown. So one is server right now, rest all the switches are client. If any VLAN modification is required, we just need to make the change on where on the code, and that information will flood on rest of the switches, entire domain, right? Everyone is getting the point? Yes. Okay. Up to this point, guys, anyone have any question? You guys can ask me. Go ahead. Sorry?
Like after the thing is like we have created all the switches to client and one the server, right?
Yes.
To the client we can assign the IP.
IP we can assign the port inside the VLAN, we can configure the IP inside the SBIs, everything we can do.
Like
Only the VLAN database that's going to manage by the server. That's it. VLAN database, what is the information is going to contain, guys? Last time also I told you the VLAN database only it's going to keep the VLAN details. What is the VLAN number? What is the VLAN name? That information it's going to keep there. Which type of the VLAN it is. So those information will be there in the VLAN.dat file. But about the SBIs, about the interface inside the VLAN, these all are the part of running config. These are not going to store into the VLAN.dat file. You got the point? Yeah. Anyone have any question?
So means only one core switch where you have configured the server. So that will only have the capability to configure the VLANs.
Yeah,
Right.
VLAN is spread. If you want to spread the VLAN information in your entire LAN, so you just need to create on the core switch, that is the server, and that's going to spread the VLAN information to all your switches.
Okay.
Anyone else, guys, to have any question? Okay, that's great.
So we will get this lab right now.
Which lab?
This one which you have practiced right now.
No.
This lab.
This server access you are talking?
Yes, no, no, no. Only this. I think the video recording or something.
Yeah, videos. So I believe you are getting all the videos, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So you will upload right today
Yeah,
this
I
one.
will upload this videos also.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so tell me one thing. Just assume these all the pieces or the member of VLAN 10, 20, and 30. Right? PC1 and PC4 both are the member of VLAN 10. PC2 and PC5, they are the member of VLAN 20, and PC6, PC3 and PC6, they are the member of VLAN 30. And they are the active right now. They are able to communicate to each other if the inter-VLAN routing is done. So they are able to communicate with everyone, right? Assume these are the server. Assume the VLAN 10 is the inside the VLAN 10. We are keeping all the server, right? Rest all the user they are accessing the services from this server. Got it? Inside the LAN also might be outside the LAN also. From worldwide they are accessing the server, right? Suppose VLAN 10, I'm just going to remove from there. VLAN 10, I'm just going to remove from there. What will happen?
More like VLAN,
Sorry?
or the client, the VLAN will be.
That means VLAN 10 will remove from your entire domain. Because on the server, you are going to delete the VLAN 10. So that VLAN 10 is going to remove from all the switches, right? So what will happen with these servers? PC1 and PC4, these are the servers. What will happen with them?
Inaccessible.
Sorry?
Inaccessible. They will be inaccessible.
What I told you guys in the last class, I believe in the second or third class when we discussed, I told you if there is some port inside the VLAN, and if the VLAN is going to remove or VLAN is not there, we just going to delete the VLAN. So what will happen with those member? Those are the member of the same VLAN. So port will be down because of the VLAN is inactive. Because of VLAN is inactive, these port will be down. So that means both the PC will become unreachable. You got it? PC1 and PC4 both will become unreachable. So think about that. There is a server, right? These are the server. They are providing the services worldwide and inside the LAN also. So that means complete infra will be down. Suppose the 100 employees are there or 200 employees are there. They are using the same application. They will be immediately there. What will happen? They will disconnect it from this application server. And what will happen? Then P1 case will reach. The two or more than 200, 300 users are going down. So obviously the P1 case is going to, right? So you are getting this point. If I'm just going to delete the VLAN 10, then what will happen? Whatever the user is there inside the VLAN, they will disconnect it. Either it can be a user. If the user VLAN is there, then might be can survive because of that specific LAN will be impacted. But if the server VLAN is there, you have put down all your server, and that VLAN you are going to delete. Just think about that. Amazon server is there. Amazon server inside the VLAN 10 and you deleted the VLAN number 10. Right? So here is the question. Question is, in your lab, you are just going to connect the switch. So what are the pre-check that you need to check before going to connect a new switch in the production environment? You are getting the question? You have a LAN, there you have already some switches. You are just going to connect a new switch, right? That means a new switch, either it can be directly from the production network, might be it was you using somewhere and now you are going to connect in your production network. Because suppose just think about that, it was into the branch 2, now the branch 2 has decommissioned. So still we have a switch. That switch is required in the branch 1. So I'm not going to purchase from the Cisco. I will use the same switch. Every company, we are going to the corporate culture. So there what is happening, every company have the store. So if from any branches, any switch is free, so that we return in the store only. And if you require, then you have to raise the ticket and you can get the switches again from the store. Otherwise, what is the another things? You can just order the switches from the Cisco. But that will be also going through the store one. The store is there that is going to maintain the reports, right? So similarly, there is a branch 1 and you just need to connect a new switch. So what are the things that you need to take care before going to connect the switch in the network? That's the interview question.
So first of all, we will see switch has to be managed or unmanaged.
Sorry?
Whether switch to be managed or unmanaged.
Yeah, that's fine. But right now we are discussing all the things, whatever the things we are discussing about the management switch only.
Okay. So depends upon the requirement, the number of.
You're taking all the run configuration.
First of all, you just
Check the domain name,
sorry.
and we need to just check the domain name and just delete the domain name and match with our own
I'm just
domain.
coming on that part.
Yeah.
We
First
just
of
need
all,
to check all the VLAN information.
First of all, what you need to check, the new switch, which one you are going to connect your network, that is on your recommended version or not. Suppose in your network, the recommended version is going on the 17.5, just assume. And you are going to connect a new switch which has the version 17.3 or 17.4 or even 17.6. So that's not recommended. You should be on same version. So once the switch will connect in the network, then after that the switch upgradation is not an easy task. Then after that, once it will move in the production, then you have to take a downtime and everything will be involved. There is cap change you have to raise, you need to take approval. So there is so many things is going to involve there. If a device is in the production. So before going to move into the production, you need to make it to the same version. First thing. Second thing, the new switch where you are going to connect, always the new switch is going to connect on here, where guys? On the core it should be connect, or on the distribution, or on access. Where you need to connect a new switch. New switch always will be connect on the access layer. Core is going to change, it's a very big change. Right? Just think about that. This is your core switch. This is your distribution switch. Here you need to connect one more switch. Why? Because if just assume there is 2 switches on each switch, there is 48 ports. And you have already how many employees are there? There's 90 employees are there, and all the physical ports are full. Right? Now we need to make the sitting arrangement for next 40 users. So I need to connect one more switch. So that switch is going to connect on where? Distribution. That means the switch you are going to install on where? Access layer, and the connectivity you are going to make it from distribution. You are getting the point? Everyone is getting the point, guys? Most of the time, all in the production network, until or unless it's not major change, suppose this switch is outdated, then might be you'll be replace this switch, core switch. Or this switch has some technical issue, then you'll be replaced. Otherwise, most of the time, you are not going to make any design change in the distribution switch or the core switch. If anywhere it's required to connect a new switch, so new switch will be always connect on where? On the access layer, and the connectivity you are going to make it from distribution. You got the point? Okay. The next point, the new switch, which one you are going to connect? Do you have basic idea about this spanning tree, guys? Do you have the basic idea? So suppose this switch is the root bridge.
So voice is disconnecting in between.
Sorry?
Voice is breaking lot.
Am I
Voice is breaking lot.
Voice is breaking.
Audible but breaking.
Just move this. Hello. 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 Am I audible, guys? Hello. Guys, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what was the question I was asking? Suppose you are going to connect a new switch. So first step, the new switch, which one you are going to connect, make sure it should be on the same version, recommended version, right? Second thing, suppose this switch is the root bridge, right? And what it has the priority, suppose it has the priority 0. And last 2-digit MAC address is A1, right? You are just going to connect a new switch, which has also the priority 0. And last 2-digit MAC address is 10. Which MAC address is lower? 10 or A1? 10. A is equals to 10, right? So between A1 and between 10 is lower. What will happen? This new switch will become a new root bridge. This new switch is going to become a new root bridge. And then what will happen in that case? For 30 seconds, your entire network will be down. It's going to converge the topology and traffic direction will also change. So make sure the new switch should not become a root bridge. So what will we do? We'll discuss in the STP what we will do on this interface where we are going to connect the new switch. There we need to enable the root guard command. Which command? Root guard. So that if it is getting a superior BPDs, it will be discard. Just will prevent from hello. अच्छा सर ये जो ऊपर CCI हब ट्रेनर करके है उसका पासवर्ड क्या है? चलिए ठीक है अभी तो चल रहा है बीच बीच में ब्रेक हो रहा है मेरा वो वाला से क्या नाम है उसको, ठीक है सर।
सर आपने अभी ब्रिज और रूट सिलेक्शन वाला टॉपिक
अभी
पढ़ाया नहीं।
अभी नहीं पढ़ाया, बस मैंने इसलिए पढ़ा दिया कि इंटरव्यू में पूछा जाता है, बता दिया मैंने
Okay.
क्वेश्चन, अदरवाइज स्पैनिंग ट्री आई विल डिस्कस लेटर, राइट? But if this is the root bridge and the new switch have a superior bridge ID, then the new switch is going to become a root bridge. So to prevent from that, first you need to configure the root guard on that uplink switches where we are going to connect the new switch. So first, if suppose interviewer is asking the question, if you are going to connect a new switch in your network, so what are the things that you need to take care? Got it? So what will we do? First, you need to check the version, and after that, uplink where you are going to connect, that you will enable the root guard. Third thing, that new switch, which one you are going to connect in the network, make sure that new switch should have the CRN number 0. Make sure this new switch should have the CRN number 0. If CRN number is high, just think about that. This switch have a CRN number 20. Suppose just and here in your LAN network, CCI हब ट्रेनर वाले का पासवर्ड क्या है? कौन सा यहाँ पर सही चलता है? ये वाला तो ब्रेक हो रहा है बार बार। जस्ट गिव मी 1 मिनट गैस। क्या पासवर्ड इसमें? क्रिप्टो सी कैपिटल है। इसका 0 1 2 3 नहीं हो रहा कनेक्ट। कल भी ट्राई मारा था, कनेक्टेड है पर उसको इससे चलो भी चलने दो, इससे तो ब्रेक हो रहा है। इसमें थोड़ी स्कैन होगा।
उसको ये साबित हुआ था कि पिछली बार थी थी
तो
और
how
मैंने बोला कि चारों की हर तरीके से तुम्हारा हस्बैंड को रही है
just mute yourself.
आपको याद है?
So if this switch have a CRN number suppose 20, and in your LAN network, what is the CRN number is there? Okay. What is the VLAN set is running there now?
10.
तो तुम
30
30
and 30. Nivedita, can you please mute yourself? Hello. And suppose the new switch has the CRN number 20 and the VLAN set is 100, 200 and 300. And you are just going to connect this switch. Tell me one thing. This switch is going to update from there.
सर
Who is going to update there now?
हेलो सर
हाँ जी जितेंद्र बताओ भाई।
सर ये कह रहा पूछ रहा था कि ये VLAN 10 20 30 रैंडम कुछ भी ले सकते हैं ना?
Just we are assuming in this network VLAN 10, 20 and 30 is running. So that means set of VLAN in the network running right now. In the running network there is 3 VLANs. These 3 VLANs are running.
नहीं अगर उसके आगे हमें बनाना जैसे 30 के
भाई
बाद
आपको
40
assume करना है, आप कुछ भी
60
assume
ऐसे
कर लो कौन सा VLAN चल रहा है।
कुछ XYZ कुछ भी मतलब डाल सकते हैं ना फिर?
भाई assume कर रहा है ना, we are just assuming there is a VLAN 10, 20 and 30. So you can assume anything. Hello.
ठीक है सर ओके ओके
So we are just assuming there is a VLAN 10, 20, 30, which one is running in your current network where the server is there, some users are there, right? You got the point?
Yes.
And the switch, which one you are going to connect that new switch, there is the CR number is 20. And what are the VLAN set here now? There the VLAN is already created on the switch. That is 100, 200 and 300. That means this switch have their own VLAN.dat file. And these switches have their own VLAN.dat file. Now once it is going to connect and once the VTP is going to synchronize, so tell me one thing, this one is going to update to this entire switch or these will update to this switch? The new switch will update to the entire switches, right? So once it is going to update, then what will happen from these all the switches, VLAN 10, 20 and 30 will remove. And what will be the new VLAN? 100, 200 and 300. If from these all the switches VLAN 10, 20 and 30 is removed, so what will happen with these user and application server? Down. That means complete infra will be down immediately. You are getting the point? So before that, this switch should not be updated to these switches to make sure this switch should have the CR number 0. How we can make it 0? So we have another mode that is transparent mode. Transparent mode, in the transparent mode, switch will always have the CR number 0. We have two things. Either you can set the bogus domain name. Bogus domain name, you can just set XYZ anything. Once you are going to change the domain name, then also the CR number will reset, that will set 0. Or you can just make it into the transparent. Once you are going to make it into the transparent, the CR number will set 0. And then after that, you can connect in the network. Once it's connected, then after that, you can again make it client. You got the point? Now you can ask me question.
Question was answered by.
Okay. Up to this point, do you have any question, guys? So you are going to connect the new switch. So that is first point, what will be there? The version should be the same. Second point, what you need to do? The root guard should be enabled on the uplink, right? Third point, the new switch should have the CR number 0. How we can do that? That means I will keep that switch before going to connect into the transparent mode. Once it will be connected, then after that I will make it change. Third thing, you can, it's a proactive approach. You can just configure the CCNP and AAA configuration before going to connecting the network, right? That's the different thing. But these three questions, if someone is asking in the interview, so that means he just want to listen the answer for these three. At least these 3 points he just want to listen to. You got the point? Yes. Okay. In the transparent mode, what we discussed, guys, in the server mode, we can create, delete, or modify the VLAN. In client mode, we can't create, delete, or modify the VLAN. But server is also going to synchronize the VLAN database, and the client is also going to synchronize the VLAN database. A server can be always update to the client, but the client can also update to the server if the client has the higher CR number. Here, what we assume, the new switch, which one we are going to connect, which has the CR number 20. So doesn't matter it is in the client mode or server mode. If it has a higher CR number, will update, right? So client can be also update to the server if the client has the higher CR number. Transparent mode, what we can do, we can create, delete, or modify the VLAN in transparent mode, right? But it's not going to synchronize the VLAN database. You are getting the point? That means if this is the server, this is my server. Just think about that. And this is the switch which is into the transparent mode, and this is into the client. VLAN number 10 I'm going to create here now. I will get the VLAN 10 here, but I will not get the VLAN 10. In transparent mode, I'm not going to sync the database, but I will pass the VTP messages. Whatever the message is going to pass by the server, that I will pass to this client, right? I will pass to this client, but I'm not going to sync. So I'm not going to sync with anyone. So what I will do, I will keep my CR number always 0. Doesn't matter how many times you are going to manipulate into the VLAN or DAT file, but here the CR number will be always 0. It's kind of independent switch in the name. It's going to pass the VTP message, but it will never sync with the server or client. You are getting the point? Question is, what was the purpose? The first purpose was to just reset the CR number. Second purpose was that in the VTP version 2, we are right now discussing. In the version 2, it was not supporting the extended VLAN or private VLAN. What is the private VLAN? That we'll discuss later. That's the reason VTP version 3 that I have mentioned that I will discuss after the private. VTP version 3 does support the private VLAN. VTP version 2 doesn't support the private VLAN. That means VLAN inside the VLAN. We have an option, we can create VLAN inside the VLAN also, right? So that's the concept is called private VLAN. So private VLAN doesn't support by the VTP version 2. Or extended VLAN. Extended VLAN is after 1026. Suppose I'm just going to create the VLAN number 2000. So VLAN 2000 is the extended VLAN. I will create here now, but I will not get it here. Because of it doesn't support the extended VLAN. You can see now. I'm just going to create VLAN number 2000. Yes. On the Nexus switch, by default, it is in transparent mode. On the Nexus, in the data center, we are not using the speed. But in normal production network, we are still using it. The number. So, VLAN 2000 is there. But if I'm going to check on switches. Roman, you got the answer?
Yeah, got it.
VLAN 2000 is there, guys. So that means VTP version 1 and 2, they don't have a capability to spread the private VLAN. So in somewhere in the network, suppose you need a private VLAN, you need an extended VLAN. So you can't be spread that one. For that one, there is a transparent mode. If the switch is there into the transparent mode, there we can create. Okay. Suppose there is one more question from the interview point perspective, guys. This switch is into the transparent mode. And domain name is none. What is the domain name there now? ABC. There is domain name XYZ. And there is ABC and there is XYZ. And what is the domain name there now? Right now we didn't set anything. It's null and it is into the which mode? Transparent. Right? So question is, if this is the server and this one is client, this one is also server and this one is client. So if I'm creating the VLAN, any VLAN on there, so it's going to sync with this one. If I'm going to create any VLAN there now, it's going to sync with them now. Will sync. Just think about that. If the domain name is there null, so it will pass the VTP message for any domain name. That means it will pass the message for ABC also and pass the message for XYZ also. Right? So that means this will be also in sync with this and this will be also in the sync with this one. But if the VTP domain name there is, suppose we are going to set ABC, then only it's going to pass the message for ABC. It's not going to pass the message for XY. So they will not in this. You got it? Is it okay? So BTP, all the three modes are clear now. The next point is the BTP messages.
Sir, your voice break in between. I'm not able to understand the transparent mode.
Hello. Everyone, you guys are not able to hear me, or only Samran have the issue? Hello.
Yeah, sometimes your voice is breaking. Yeah,
So you guys are not able to hear me right now?
right
I
now it's
can
The
clear,
hear
but
transparent
Right
mode
now
is
it's
clear,
good.
or still you have without this?
Right now it's clear.
Samran,
But
transparent mode means what? There we are not transparent mode. We are using basically for the just pass the BTP message. It's just like an standalone switch. It's not going to sync with any one of the switch. It's just going to pass the BTP messages. It's an independent switch. It's going to work like this. So what is the purpose of that? First, to reset the CR number. If you are just going to move into the transparent mode, then CR number will set to 0. Second, if you need a private VLAN or you need the extended VLAN, then in the transparent mode, we can create that. That's the
Okay.
purpose of the transparent mode.
So it does not have any database
No,
of
it will
VLAN?
have the database, but it will be their local database. It will have the local database. Okay,
Okay.
it's not going to sync with anyone. Suppose logically what is happening, it's a server and it's a client. If the server is going to update to the client, so whatever the VLAN.dat file is there now, that VLAN.dat file completely will copy there. Right? So what
Yeah.
the server is doing, server is just going to replace the VLAN.dat file from the client from their own VLAN.dat file. You got the point? But in the transparent mode, it's maintaining their own VLAN.dat file and it's not going to inherit VLAN.dat file, the VLAN.dat file from the either server or from client. You are
Okay.
getting it?
Yes.
Okay. So VTP have some message type. And guys, I've never seen this message type someone was discussing in the interview. But first is somebody advertisement. Upset request, and 4 is join message. There is 4 type of the message in the VTP. summary advertisement, subset, request, and join. Let me see, guys. If I'm not wrong, the name is same. Just give me a moment. Read this one, guys. This message is originated by BTP server and client, both. If you are going with the CCNP book, guys, the same Cisco Press book, what it is mentioned, it's going to advertise by server, but it's wrong. It's going to advertise by server and client both. After every 5 seconds. Oh, sorry. 300 seconds. 5 minutes means 300 seconds. If there is no change in their VLAN on that file, if I am a server and you are the client, we are just exchanging the BTP summary advertisement message after every 300 seconds. If everything is normal. But suppose there is some modification in my VLAN.dat file, or there is some modification in the BTP password or BTP domain, something is there. Then I will not wait for the 5 minutes. I will send it immediately. You got the point? So you can just read this message is originated by the BTP server and client switches every 5 minutes and addition after the modification of the VLAN database. If there is any modification in the VLAN database, this message carries the about information of the BTP domain name, revision number, identity of the last updater that I told you, the last updater, what is the updater ID, and then the time stamp when it was last update, MD5 some computed over the content of the VLAN database and BTP password if it is configured. What I told you, MD5 is going to calculate on behalf of, it's going to 2 attributes, password and VLAN database. And the number of subset advertisement messages on the optional follow the advertisement summary. That means actual VLAN database is not going to exchange in this message. Just I am the server, I'm just sending the BTP. So sorry, advertisement, summary advertisement, right? Suppose my CRN number is 12 and your CRN number, whatever the CRN number you have, suppose you have a 10, right? Then you will be sent me the request. What will be sent the request? You will be sent the advertisement request. What I mentioned, advertisement request or summary advertisement. And the second message is subset advertisement. That's correct. So it's advertisement request, it's not the subset request. So if I heard a higher CR number from my any upstream switch or the downstream switch, then what I will do? I will send the advertisement request. Then after that, he will share the VLAN database. That VLAN database is going to share by this message. That means VLAN database, the VLAN record is going to carry which message? Subset advertisement. So if one switch have a VLAN.dat file, there are the 1,000 of VLAN. So to share that VLAN information, we might be the required the multiple subset advertisement. That might be the possibility because of what is the MTU size? 1500 on the interface, right? And one VLAN info for the one VLAN information, it's going to use the 60 byte memory space. So suppose 1,000 VLANs or suppose 500 VLANs are there. So 5 multiplied by 60, 500, that means 3,000 byte. So there we need at least to subset advertisement. You got the point? So it's mentioned there. Now that means that is the things which one is going to, that message is going to carry the VLAN dot that file. You got the point? Now you can just read. Subset advertisement. This message is originated by the VTP server and client switches after modification of the VLAN database. Subset advertisement carry the full content of the VLAN database. One subset advertisement can hold the multiple VLAN database entries. However, the multiple subset advertisement might be required if the VLAN database is large. Clear?
Sir, what is the page number?
Page number is
I have the book in front of me, so 85, right?
its page number is 85. Right? So
Yes, sir.
next one is advertisement request. You can read this message. This message is originated by VTP server and client switches to request their neighbor send the complete VLAN database or a part of it. Advertisement request or sent when the VTP client switches is restarted. If the switch is going to restart, or when the switch enters into the client mode, or the server or client switches receive a summary advertisement with higher
VLAN
region
trunking
number than
protocol.
its own.
नूर, मम्मा को एक पेन दे दोगे?
Nivedita, please mute yourself.
आपको क्रीम
Hello.
लगा मेरे हाथ क्रीम वाले हैं अभी वो डॉक्टर को क्रीम लगा रही हो आप खुद ले लो
Ask me. You are getting this point? Advertisement request, when it's going to advertise? When suppose I'm the server or I'm the client, doesn't matter. If I'm getting a summary advertisement from any one of the switch and the CR number is higher, whatever the CR number I have, right? Suppose I have the CR number 10 and I'm getting the summary advertisement from another switch where the CR number is 12. So what I will do, I will send the advertisement request, please send your VLAN database. So he will send the VLAN database using the subset advertisement. You got the point? I believe in the drive I shared a folder with the required docs. Roman, it's there in the drive. Okay, next one is the join.
Okay, I'll check.
In the same drive link, I believe I have shared with you guys. So you can just check in the drive, you will get it.
Okay, thanks.
Folder
I'll
name
check
is
it.
the required docs. Inside that, there is multiple books. Okay, next one is the join message. Do you remember the VTP pruning, guys? What I told you? VTP pruning. Just let me tell you. Yesterday I explained, but the features might be. This is the switch. It's a switch, or you can just mention port. And this is switch A, B, and C. core switch, and then after that A, B, and C, there is 3 more switches. Suppose this is the user, he is the member of VLAN. Okay, he is going to broadcast something. So it will be reached to the switch A. Then it's going to forward towards the core. And what the core will do, guys? Will forward towards the B also and C also.
Yes.
So there is any sense to forward the traffic for the VLAN 10 towards the switch C? Any active member is there into the VLAN number 10?
No,
On
sir.
C, there is any active member? No. Right? So if you are going to manage it manually, then what you can do, you can just allow on this interface VLAN 20 and but if we are managing the VLAN through the VTP, so what I can do? I can just enable the VTP pruning is the features. And VTP pruning just need to enable on where? On the core. Sorry, means on the server. On the client, it will
Sir,
auto.
the voice disconnected in
Hello,
between. I didn't hear anything.
hello. Now I'm audible.
Now I think it's fine.
Okay. So VTP, if we are using the VTP, so what we can do? We can just enable the VTP pruning. If the VTP pruning is enabled, just need to enable where? On the server. Client, it will auto enable, right? And once the VTP pruning is enabled, guys, all the switches will use one message. That message is called the join message. That message is called. And what they will do, and that message is going to exchange after every 6 seconds. He will inform I have the only active member into the which VLAN. So now this switch has the list on this interface. Only I need to forward the traffic for which VLAN. It will never forward there for VLAN 10. Similarly, VLAN 30 is forwarding something. So it will be forward there only, it will never forward. You got the point? So if the VTP pruning is there, so we can stop at least unnecessary broadcasting in our network. Whatever the unnecessary broadcast is going to happen, that we can control. So that's the thing. You can just see now. It's mentioned, I believe, in this book. It's there. This message is originated by each VTP server and client periodically after every 6 seconds. VTP pruning is active. Join message contain the field that for the each VLAN in the normal range indicate only it will be work for the normal range VLAN. That means up to the 1005, whether it is active or unused. That is pruned. If that is unused, that will be pruned. So let me do one thing. Here the VTP pruning exactly. It's not going. Switching around.
This is 5.0, right? CCIE.
No, it's an old book.
No, the one in which you
Yes,
showed
this is 500.
this is CCIE routing and switching 5.0.
Yes. Now the
Okay.
name is changed. It's enterprise. So it's coming with the Encore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Encore is also there.
So you're putting all the books there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Download. Troubleshoot.
300, 115.
It's an old paper code. So downloading the troubleshoot. Issue. Where is the CCNP switching? Yes,
सर इस हेलो
yeah, this one.
सर इसको उसमें डाल दीजिएगा करो ड्राइव में
Drive में required folder नाम का नहीं है required option. Okay, I will upload it. Please don't. Number 140. First, you can read this one, guys. The same, it's a Cisco book that you can see. VTP domain server send the summary between. And the CCI book, what it will mention, should be sent by the server and client both. That's the truth. Here it's mentioned only by server. One more mode is there, guys. Off mode. In the off mode, the VTP is basically disabled. It's not going to send any VTP messages or not going to pass. You got the point? So VTP mode is off. You can use. So it's not going to pass any VTP message. It's not going to advertise any VTP messages. VTP pruning. What is the VTP pruning? If you are going to read, it will take some time, but from this diagram, you can understand clearly. PC3. It's a member of VLAN 3. So where is the VLAN 3? There. Right now it's broadcasting something, so it's going to the switch, and it's going to forward towards the B also and towards D also, without VTP pruning. Once the VTP pruning is going to enable, then after that, it's not going to forward towards the switch B, only it's going to forward towards the switch D. You got it? So we just need to enable the VTP pruning only on the server. You can see now. I'm just going to enable. Let's close. So right now on these switches, if I'm just going to check so VTP status. VTP pruning is disable or enable, guys? Pruning is disable. Only I'm just going to enable it on server. BTP. Only that need to enable. So BTP status. Here is enable on the server. I'm just going to check it on client also. Earlier it was disabled. Right? Now. So only you just need to enable on server. So if I'm going to move into the BTP mode, then just use one of the distribution switches. BTP mode transparent, right? So BTP status. What is the CR number? 0, right? I'm creating VLAN 100, VLAN 200, VLAN 300, but still, so BTP status. CR number is VLAN is earlier VLAN was already there, the 10, 20, 30, and we created the 100, 200, and 300, but it is not going to, you will not get it on the another switches. Can you see now? 200 is the part of it was already created, so it's there, but 100, 300 is not there, right? I'm just going to create the VLAN number 500 or VLAN number 50, 60, and 70 on where? On the port. VLAN 50. We created 3 VLAN. So VLAN brief 50, 60, 70 is there. If I'm going to check it on distribution switch 101, $50, 60, 70 is there? No. That means it's not going to $50, 60, 70 we created here. It's not going to create here. But if I'm going to check on these switches, you should get it now. So VLAN brief. So it is in transparent mode. It's just passing the VTP messages, but it's not going to sync with anyone. Again, if that I'm going to make that switch as a yeah, see, I will share it. Again, what will happen if I'm just going to make it VTP mode client? So it will sync with server. It was into the transparent mode. Now it is in client mode. So whatever their local VLAN.dat file was there, that will be deleted and it will sync from server. That means from this switch also the VLAN 100 and 300 should be gone. 200 should be also gone, but the 200 is the common VLAN, so it will be there. So VLAN brief. You got it? Now it is in client mode. It was earlier in the transparent mode. It was not syncing. When you are going to make it into the client mode, then it is CR number is there 0, and the server have the RCR number. It will be synced with that. So it will remove their local VLAN.dat file and it will be copied from where? From the server. You got it, guys? Now, finally, guys, we have covered the BTP. BTP is finished. Do you have any question from the BTP?
So, sir, transparent mode is mostly used on distribution layer, which
Transparent mode is basically going to use for to reset the CR number in the production network it is using. Otherwise, the transparent mode on the Nexus switches, it's there. On the Nexus switches, by default, BTP
So
mode is
it can be used.
because of for the security reason, we don't want to sync the VLAN database. In the data center, all the server VLANs will be important because of that the server is there, right? So there from the Nexus by default, it's a transparent. Yeah, go ahead, Samra. Hello. Hello. Am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Samra, go ahead.
So it can be used on any of the layer, the transparent mode.
Any of the layer means what you are talking about the design point of view?
Yes.
Design point of view, if you are going to use any one of the layer, think about that on distribution layer or the core layer, you are going to use the transparent. There is any sense to use it? If you are going to use independent as a transparent mode, suppose think about that. This is my core switch, and this is distribution switch that you have put into the which mode? Transparent mode. And there is the client switch. VLAN 100 we created here now, but that VLAN you will be not get it here, right? It is into the transparent, but the VLAN 100 you will be get it here, right?
Yes.
Right? And suppose there is one user, he is going to forward the traffic for the VLAN number 100. He is from the VLAN 100. He is going to forward the traffic. This switch will forward the traffic for VLAN 100. It is into the transparent mode. If there is no VLAN 100, so why it should going to forward the VLAN traffic for VLAN 100? So we can't make it into the this core and distribution. If the access switch is there, we can make that switch as a transparent. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will upload it today, guys. So, guys, the question and answer in the production network, actually, it's everything the design perspective. Okay, what you are asking the question, what I'm giving the answer. In my perspective, the design is there. Hello.
No, sir.
हेलो कोई आप लोग उसे ज्वाइन किया हुआ है क्या हेलो एम ऑडिबल गाइस
Yeah.
Okay, it was powerful actually, yes. So anyone have any question from the VTP guys? No one have any question? Okay. I will upload it today, Jitendra. Don't worry.
सर अब सिर्फ एसटीपी टॉपिक बचा है स्विचिंग में या और भी बचा है?
That I'm going to show you this. Up to this part we have finished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now STP, that is the backbone. This is the main backbone of the switching. STP, what is the CST, what is the PBST, PBST plus, then Cisco is enhancement under the STP where the port fast, uplink fast, backbone fast command we are going to discuss. Then STP guard, root guard, BPDUs guard, BPDU filter, loop guard, and UDLD. Then RSTP, MSTP. Then after that, L2 security. These topic will take time. At least I will invest here now 2 weeks. And then after that, 1 week you can consider for the layer 2 security and VTP version 3. And the one says 1 week for this one. So 2, 1, 3, and 1. 4 weeks still is required to finish the complete switch. 1 week means 8 classes. 4 weeks means 8 classes here. Because of 2 weeks, 4 classes minimum required for me for RSTP, MSTP, STP, because that's the major topic for the switching. Okay, and then after that, in 1 week, I will cover the L2 security and VTP version 3 with lab on top. And the last 2 sessions, 1 session for the Ether channel, 1 session for HSRP and VLR. So that means 8 classes is per. So within the next 3 to 4 weeks, we'll finish the switching. Okay. So tell me one thing,
Sir,
you want to start from today or next week?
sir, I think next week it's enough today.
Okay. So we are right now here up to the 6 point we have covered. Then
Sir,
yeah,
हेलो सर इसमें VX VLAN भी है क्या सर?
VXLAN is not part of there in the switching. VXLAN that will cover the theory part that we cover into the DNet once we'll discuss. Basically, the VXLAN is the topic for the data center. Or if you are coming in the enterprise, in the DNet we will cover in the brain. Okay.
ठीक है सर.
Okay, guys. Then see
Sir,
you.
ACL क्या routing में है?
हाँ, ACL routing में.
Okay.
First in the routing, that is packet flow static routing, IPSLA, PSLA routing is ACL standard, extended time based and name based. Okay. Okay, guys. Then see you on next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.